Tonight's show is sponsored by Queen Bee Cleaning Company. Queen Bee Cleaning Company services Wayne County and the surrounding areas within a 1-hour radius. Their services include residential cleaning, commercial cleanings, post-construction cleanups, move-ins and move-outs. Yes, they do the packing and cleaning for you. Real estate cleanings, deep cleans, event cleanups, window cleaning, interior, exterior, and screens, junk removal, and boat detailing. Yes, you heard that right, boat detailing. You can hire them weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, one-time jobs as needed. It doesn't matter. They offer all natural cleaning options as well using chemical-safe products. All estimates are free. When you need to find a cleaning company, think Queen Bee, because when your environment is clean, you feel happy, motivated, and healthy. To contact them for all of your cleaning needs, call 570-229-3959 or email them at qbcleaningcompany@gmail.com.
All right, y'all, it's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.
Welcome to the show.
Go ahead.
Can you tell we don't have Jared?
Just get it out of your system. Corey, I'm sorry, because as soon as I saw the glitch, I don't know if you saw me, I just sat back.
What glitch? Was there a QR code?
No, there's no QR code, but there was a
No
Jared
QR code?
glitch. It was a Jared glitch.
I gotta tell you, man, it's this mouse. I don't know what's happening with this mouse. It's just super sensitive right now. It's like I was playing some Call of Duty or Apex Legends, and I messed with the sensitivity. This week, it's just been really sensitive, and I must have went.
It's because you play with it too much.
Went too far. Yeah, I played with it too much.
You were clicking
Too
the
sensitive
mouse
because
and it was sensitive.
You were clicking the button too fast.
It's too sensitive because I played with it too much. Yes.
Well,
Mike
this
is
started really
Mike is already like,
fucking wild.
what did I sign up for?
Oh, I'm all for it.
Good. See, yes. I mean, Mike is a professional when he needs to be, but also he's our kind of people when he's in his downtime. So,
Oh, Lord.
and Aaron, now we roll to you, baby. Now we roll to you.
Just as I'm choking. Thank you.
Just like your very first episode ever.
Wow.
That was the worst first 5 minutes
Wow.
of my life.
Oh, here it comes.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of NDT Squared Circle Sessions. To my right here is Justin. Below me is Corey, and of course, our special guest, our new best buddy, Mike Harvey. He's with us to talk a little bit of wrestling tonight. We got lots to talk
I can never
about.
figure out which way to point, so I don't.
Inverted,
That's why-
baby.
Yeah, I caught for a second. I had to look over here, like, oh, there's Justin over there. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody happy, healthy, good stuff? It's cold. It's hot out.
It's hot as fuck out.
Yes.
My house
See,
is
wanted-
chilly as fuck.
He wanted to let us know immediately that he's okay with the rated R superstars that are on this show. He's letting us know this is for pleasure. This is not business. Now let's get to work, baby. I love it. Thank you, Mike.
Corey, is it hot in your house?
It's really hot in my house. Actually, when I got home from work today, I was really dreading coming upstairs to the studio. So I told the wife, I was like, I'm gonna throw a post up on Facebook and see if anybody has an air conditioner lying around, see if they can get it out here by 6:30. Lo and behold, she tells me it's not gonna happen. It happened. You see this guy in chat right now, Chris Coots over on the YouTubes. This man came out to my house with a nice air conditioner. I got this room nice and cooled off for me. I'm not dripping sweat. I really thought, guys, I was going to be streaming without a shirt on tonight. So y'all are lucky. I mean, I was going to make you pay me to put some clothes back on, but y'all lucked out. So thank you, Chris. You saved everybody on stream.
From the bottoms of our hearts, thank you so much for saving us.
Nobody needs to see that.
We discussed this. We were gonna do pasties. I was asking Alex if she had any pasties, and she did not.
Is your AC still running? I still have a little feedback.
You have a little feedback? It's not running. So if that's the case, I mean, maybe it's my fan that's next to me. So maybe I'll turn this off and turn the air back on.
So I'm gonna out Justin and I right now. It was never interfering with your microphone to begin with. We were just messing with you.
Dude, can I turn it back on?
Yes, you can.
I hate that you waited until we were live to tell me.
Mike knew. Mike knew. You got up to go and
perfect.
we're just like staring at each other and Mike's like, is it working? We're like, shh.
Dudes. I tell you, I'm like, this is weird. My microphone never picks this shit up.
Dude.
I'm going crazy trying to adjust my microphone.
You got done telling that story. You got done telling that story, and all I did was, bro, I hear it. I was just waiting for Aaron to be like, what? Nope, he just went with it.
No, you guys are assholes. You just go with it.
They were gonna wait till you started sweating to put it on.
Perfect.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I wanted him to tell his story, and then I love doing this shit to him. Corey, we love you, buddy.
You drip sweat.
Justin said it, and I just ran with it. I was like, I don't hear shit, but this must be a prank.
I had to get an AC because if you watched on Sunday night when we had Lady Jen on,
You were sweating like crazy.
Mike, if you didn't watch that episode, if you haven't watched too many of our episodes, I highly suggest watching that one, whether you believe in the paranormal and ghosts and spirits or not. It was a good episode. She even got Jared. If you get to the point in that episode where she gets Jared and mentions something that nobody else should know, especially when she hopped on the show at 7 o'clock, supposed to be here earlier, but got here at 7 because of a computer reboot. It might make you believe, man. It might make you believe. But throughout the episode, we went for 2 hours when we normally go for 1. And I kept looking at my camera box. And I was watching the sweat go farther and farther down my shirt. I was like, I feel like I'm at work. This is horrible. Anyway, all right. Enough with the sweat and the AC and the heat. And back to Aaron. Let's get this conversation rolling because I always hear you guys and what you think about wrestling. I need to hear what this guy over here thinks.
All right. So we'll start from the beginning. We'll just unpack the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that went on. The PLE, I keep calling it pay-per-views. Justin, Mike, let's have your initial thoughts on it. I mean, my thought was it was kind of
underwhelming.
Yeah, I thought a lot more was going to happen, but go for it. Let me hear what you guys think.
I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. Some of the stuff was predictable, but it was like predictable in the way that I was like, this is what should happen. So like, I was pretty happy with it. I know, the crazies online got down to, to the minute of how many commercial breaks there were and stuff like that. But overall, I enjoyed it.
I think the one botch there, the big one with Priest and Rollins, that killed it for me. I think that was a production. Either Priest was knocked and didn't know where he was at the time, or it was a production, like they were waiting for the cue, and it kind of just because like Drew's music hit literally like 30 seconds later. I think that's what the problem was.
That's what Justin and I initially thought. We were talking about the same thing that night. I was watching a video from Bully Ray yesterday before I watched Raw. And what he was saying, he said he had to rewatch it over and over again. And what he saw was when they were doing that exchange, right? He had the superplex off the rope, right? He rolled through and went to pick him up. And then he said when Priest picked up Seth and Seth went to kick his legs, he kneed Priest in the face. And he thought maybe that started to make him feel a little loopy. So then when he got that last move, he might have been a little bit out of it.
See, my opinion is if the announce team saw that, they should have stopped the match.
You're right. Yeah, because they're ringside. Yeah. They're the first ones to see it. They should
Yeah, they saw it.
Corey just went bye-bye. He clicked his mouse. It's really sensitive. So, Mike, if you're not up on this was just an inside joke with us. We actually went and broadcasted an event for a local wrestling affiliation, and somebody gave us some crap about not stopping a match because we should know better. And we saw this. Stop clicking your mouse, bro. It's sensitive.
Didn't touch anything. Did somebody
Did your power go out?
No, I don't think so. Anyway,
it's drawing all the power.
Yeah, maybe.
I just filled Mike in on what that joke was about.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So that's why I said
man.
the announcer should have stopped it. But my thoughts on that, the botch was very obvious,
great.
and there had to have been something either with Drew or the referee missed it. It's those two. I don't,
The
It's
more I
crazy.
think, after hearing Corey say that, the more I think about it and look back at the videos I saw, I think he was out. I don't think he knew where he was because the ref even had to go explain to him what happened.
Well, so here's the thing yeah, maybe, but when Seth went for the pin and he went to reach for his leg to pull his leg up, it from how he was grabbing him, he could not have just yanked his leg up. Priest had to have picked his leg up for him, right?
I think when you're like that, you probably know, like, all right, we're gonna do the false finish here, but then he's just blank.
Can't do it.
When you remember back to it, he kind of rolled out of the ring and he was just kind of there on the side, and then it was just all Drew and Seth, and then just rolled in with they basically put Priest on top of him for the finish. So it was, I think it was just kind of like, hey, he's knocked out right now. But still, I think it was a combination of both.
But in that situation, the ref's supposed to finish the count. Yeah. He's not supposed to pull off.
That's right. Now here. This is what I was gonna say is from everything I've heard and read from the Vince McMahon era. One thing I always heard was it doesn't matter if the person kicks out in time or not. That referee's job is to count to 3. If the wrestler, the talent, misses their spot and they can't kick out, that's on them, and they have to work around it. Now, I feel like the referees are still taught this to this day. However, you had the added gentleman's agreement thrown in there. So could it be that they just weren't
He's not
prepared?
Thinking that at that point.
No, because the referee has to know, okay? Because he would have had to leave the judgment day at that point. So now, not only do you have a different outcome to the match, which they could normally work around, but now you have an entire storyline to change because of that. Do you think that played a part in it?
I think so. I think Triple H was in the ref's earpiece, nope, hold up. Whoever saw it at the last second, or maybe they weren't ready.
You really think he would make that call, though? Triple H doesn't seem like he would.
Bro, it's with
He's
that
leaving the Judgment Day anyway.
No,
we
officially
that's a SummerSlam. That's a SummerSlam type of thing.
Like, we think that we know this, right? And we can see, everything happening with Mommy and with Finn and all that. You could see all of it happening, but they weren't ready to swerve that hard that quickly, right?
You have to, though. That looked so bad.
It did, but at the same time, and I know we all wanted to, we know what happens. We know it's all scripted. We know it's all got to play out a certain way. We understand what's supposed to happen. So since we all know that, don't you think that maybe everyone should be a little understanding about what happened? Everything can't always be perfect.
No, but that's a situation where that's the end of the match. So if you miss that, that's just going to open so many questions to so many other times now. Are they going to botch this? Are they going to botch that? I mean, I wanted to call this whole PLE Money in the Botch because there was so many different spots that were screwy and they missed their spots and everything else. But to me, that's such a bad look on the industry as a whole to just not count the 3 without Priest moving. I understand what you're saying, Corey. Like, that's a whole storyline to change. But at that point, here's my take. You don't know if Priest is legitimately injured. Maybe he's got a really bad concussion. Yeah. And now you're saving yourself the aggravation of having him come out on Raw and relinquish the belt. You called an audible basically in the middle of the ring. And yeah, it does mess up the storylines, but it takes the predictability out of it. Everybody I think was under the assumption that McIntyre was going to cash in and win, which he said he was going to do. I like how they screwed him. We'll get to him in a little bit, but I just think that the whole botch there was a mess for them.
See, I feel you say that people think that McIntyre was going to walk away with the victory, but I feel like more people talked like they knew Punk was going to fuck with them.
I thought he was going to mess
There
with
was-
him during the match.
That's what I thought too, Mike. I thought they was going to screw him out of getting the case itself, but I think
How
it's
much
even-
better would that have been, though?
This is
Yeah.
better. This is better.
You think this is
way
better?
better.
You
Oh
think
my
this is better?
God,
A
yes.
wasted Money in the Bank.
Yep.
I think so.
Yes.
I'm the
Yes.
only one. I'm the odd man out because
It's an
I-
epic screw
listen.
job.
listen, and you know what? Part of me,
This
part
is
of me
the
feels-
third time he's cost him the belt.
Yes, that's understandable, but he could have cost him the Money in the Bank as well. Someone else still could have got it and held on to that Money in the Bank to create another story that you love so much, Justin. Your stories, but I think part
So
of
they
it.
have
Someone
this
mentioned
shit
to me
planned out
Time out,
a
time
year
out.
ahead of time.
I feel like someone else told me, and it makes sense that Triple H is not a big fan of Money in the Bank.
I could see that as where it kind of backs you into a corner sometimes where it's like, all right, they have the brief. Like, that's why I think Damian Priest had the briefcase for so long, is that they just didn't know when the right time was to pull the trigger on it, because everything else was actually rolling and stuff. So it was just, it's just so tough. And I don't think there's any other guy in that match that could have got the briefcase and kind of went forward and did a story. Because, like, you got to think Jey Uso, they're saving him for the bloodline feud coming up. You know, they need him free and out of the world title picture. LA Knight is definitely going to take the US title off of Logan Paul at some point. So, like, where else do you go with anybody else in that match?
They were filler.
I mean, fuck Logan Paul at this point, man. Like, I think he's done great things in the ring, but when you can't defend the United States title, you should not hold the title. So I think that guy's done. I think he should be relinquishing that ASAP. Someone should beat him ASAP.
He brings too much social media and too much money to the platform for them.
It's a wasted
money's what-
championship.
I know.
It's such a wasted, because you see what Sami Zayn's doing.
But is it?
It is. What do you mean?
It's a waste to us. But on the business side?
Right. That's where I'm looking at it from. On the business side of it, him holding the belt is one of the best things you can have. I mean, regardless of how many times he defends it. Roman Reigns was the same way.
I got a fucking Prime bottle up there. You know, like it's brand recognition.
Yeah, but do you think he has to hold a title to hold that influence?
Yes.
I don't. He is who he is because of what he does. I don't think he needs a title to be able, like, his labels everywhere on wrestling, everywhere on WWE. I don't think he needs that title to do that. Like, he can do so much more with the company, even not wrestling, and still promote it and still get the viewership. Right. He wants to wrestle, but I want to know what the fuck I want to know how people in the back really feel about him holding that title.
I think some of the veterans
probably.
I think that they're a little bit, but, like, you got to think, you know, they understand business, and it's not like he's not terrible in the ring. So, like, that, right. I think that's the only thing. Like, if he was in here and it was like when Shaq comes in and does a match, like, you know what you're getting with that.
Yeah.
But I think with Logan Paul, it's like, okay, he can go better than some of these guys, or at least make it appear that he can go better.
And he puts the work in, like,
or like ICP winning the tag team titles,
or David Arquette winning the world championship at WCW.
Yeah, and I know he's a good athlete, and that's what pisses me off the most. He's really good in the ring. He's entertaining to watch. Like, I hate the whole shtick with the brass knuckles and everything, but he's good inside the ring.
I think it just makes us mad because he's just such a scumbag in real life.
Yeah,
it's like,
but he portrays that in the ring, and it comes off perfectly. Like, I love it in WWE.
Yeah.
I heard he was
what he does.
I heard he was really upset when he first started and people were booing him.
He was. And then Seth Rollins told him, just go with it.
If he defended the title more, if he wrestled more, I think I'd have a lot less of a problem with it. But you don't see him for months at a time. And it's not like he's Roman Reigns.
See him
he doesn't have the world
ring,
title.
But he's still building stories.
Oh, fuck you and your
and
story
he's great
building
at that.
from afar. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I'm sorry. That's horrible. It's a horrible excuse. Horrible argument. Terrible. You lose.
Just wait till him and LA Knight finally get together, man. That's gonna be.
I
fun.
hope LA Knight wipes the floor with him. He deserves the title.
He's gonna get it.
He needs a title. He needs one.
Except for his name, I like him. I hate his name. He sounds like a sports franchise.
But
he really does.
That's gonna be a good one.
Sorry, Aaron,
I like what they've done so far.
I'll just let you guys go.
I'm just getting started as the heel of the show. Sorry.
Mike, let me ask you a question because I like to get Corey riled up with this stuff too. Oh. Do you think wrestling is more about the storytelling or the in-ring work?
Oh boy, it's both. So, and it's perfectly how you look at it with WWE and AEW right now, where WWE is all in the stories.
I knew this is where it was going.
I know, and it's you're gonna divide the internet, divide this chat. AEW, it's all about the wrestling. Like they're trying to mix stories in, but right now they're just putting on matches to put on, 5-star matches, and it's good, but like it's only good in short amounts. Like they're in a slump right now because they're not relying on stories. But you got to have both. Like you can't just throw together two random people and make it a memory, unless something crazy happens in the match.
They've been in the slump since because of their Tony Khan took the side of Jungle Jack Perry over CM Punk. CM Punk kept that company afloat while he was there.
Do you think
and
CM
they just
Punk
let him
ever
walk
actually
away?
Wanted to stay there though?
No.
For the money, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was it.
I think he at first he was all about it because he thought he can go in there and talk to these guys and they would look up to him. But when they looked at him and were like, "We're not listening to a word you say, get out of here," I think that's where he just lost his mind because he's part of that old school, you have to look up to me, you have to do this, you have to do that. The same way where a lot of those guys that they would go in there and have the same meltdown, with people. They get in there and it's, they think, "Oh, I'm going to help the next generation." And then they just get, pissed when those guys tell them like, "No, we don't need you. We've been doing this on the indies for 20 years."
Yeah. See, I thought CM Punk was a douchebag too, Jeff, but I don't know. The more I've gone back and what I know of AEW, I can't watch it. I've tried. And for the 5-star matches that they put on, they're about 2.5s. Because we want to talk about the money in the botch, is what you called it, Aaron?
Yep.
That's every show I've watched on AEW. And it's their biggest stars doing it. Who's that Australian dude they have? Osprey. I've seen him botch so many things.
But he's so good.
I can't. He's athletic. But when you're taking a Hurricane Rana and the dude is already flipped over on his stomach before you try to sell it and do your flip, that's terrible. And I've seen him do that so many times, I can't watch it. And there's no stories to go with it. None of the matches make sense. I'm that kind of guy. Like, it has to make sense. It can't just be because you want to see this athletic dude run around with this athletic dude. Make it more interesting than that.
So, not going on to AEW myself, I want to comment on the Money in the Botch comment. I watched Money in the Bank and I was genuinely impressed with most of the shit that happened. Like, yeah, I understand some things happen, but for the most part, watching that event, I thought it was really good. Like, I thought the Braun and Sami Zayn match was really good. I enjoyed that one. The women's Money in the Bank match, like, holy shit. To me, I think those women are fucking incredible. To do some of the things that they do at their size and take the damage that they take and still get up is wild to me. I think that's insane.
The women's division.
Zoe Stark was walking Monday night.
Yes. Oh my God. Her and Io Sky, because like she didn't go back first onto it. She landed on that ladder on her legs, man. Oh,
there was a couple spots where I was like, I hope they're okay. But
Yes.
it was good. It's good to see that from the women's division because it gives them some edge to it a little bit. And I don't know. It seemed like a better put together match on their side than I think the men's match. Like I think the men's match was okay, but it wasn't as good as the women's match.
Right. I agree.
I have two things that I want to ask about all of this. Is one, your perception, saying Money in the Botch and being super critical of everything that's happening. Is it because do you think that the way you view wrestling now, being the super fan that you are, has anything to do with it? The fact that you're not just sitting down and enjoying it, that you're literally sitting there to analyze and critique and pick it apart. That seems to be where wrestling fans are at nowadays, and everybody's picking shit apart constantly. Does that have anything to do with it? Because I sat there and watched it. I just got back into it because of the Rumble, because of you guys. I watched this event and I thought it was amazing. You guys are sitting here picking every little thing apart.
There's a difference between picking it apart and the product that they've put out since Survivor Series of last year. They've taken that here. It was down here. When Triple H was given full creative control, they've taken the level of programming up here. And I just think that this PLE was a few steps below it.
So you're saying because Triple H has taken it to certain heights, like you expect more.
There's an expectation that is there now that he has to maintain.
He set a precedent.
100%.
He's destroyed the first half of this year. Everything was phenomenal. Even with the rope issues they had, where was that? France?
I think that was last month.
Oh, yeah, Scotland with the rope issues they had. Like they worked through that. It was fantastic. This went back to like Vince McMahon shit.
I don't think it was anybody's fault. I think it was just unlucky. Like I said, if it wasn't for that botch with the world title match, like there wasn't really anything that I remember about the show that was kind of like, oh man, that kind of put a damper on it. I thought everything went according to plan, except for that.
That's what I thought too.
And that was so big. That's what put the damper on the whole show. Yeah.
I think
so. The fact that you're saying you want to say that it would be a big swerve if they finish that count, because then Priest would have to leave the Judgment Day. That's an easier thing to deal with than having that big of a botch happen.
But I don't know if unless you were watching the pay-per-view 100%, I don't think that you're going to realize it. Like if you didn't see that, you're not going to see the miscount. They're going to edit it in the replays a month from now. You may not even remember it. So like I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
You saw that Monday night already. They didn't even show that.
Right.
Well, Mike, I'm glad you said that, because we saw what they were doing on SmackDown a couple weeks ago when they were blacking the screen out. There's a delay in these matches when they're broadcast. That would have been a perfect time to put a black screen up just as the ref was about to hit that 3 count. This problem is solved. I know I saw Alex's comment. It said sometimes people are humans. Stuff doesn't work out perfect. And I understand that completely. But when a ref's counting a 3 count, that's so blatantly obvious that nothing happened. And that was a big thing for us. But what I was trying to say before is I think part of the reason, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, they're putting out too many of these PLEs in too short of a time span, that there's so much going on that there is going to be more stuff that comes out in the open. There's going to be more mistakes that happen. They need to dial that back a little bit. I know they're moving all over the place, different countries, and it's great that they're expanding their brand, but I think they need to dial it back and go back to maybe once a month with a PLE, not every 2 weeks. I know they're making money hand over fist, but they got to dial it back a little bit.
So
they just announced another one this past weekend.
Did they?
Bad Blood's coming back.
Oh yeah, I
So they added one already.
See, I don't mind it because they're shorter. Like AEW now, like
Yes.
I thought that they were perfect with their quarterly pay-per-views because they were longer pay-per-views. They had more matches. I think the five match card is the perfect setup for the pay-per-view. And I'm calling them pay-per-views. It's same thing like Twitter. When you change the name to Twitter to X, I'm still going to call it a pay-per-view.
We grew up with it. It's ingrained in us at this point. Well, okay.
Hold on. Does anybody know when SummerSlam is?
August 3rd.
What's going on August 3rd, Corey?
Oh, do you want me to
sing
tell
the
people?
national anthem, Aaron?
Yeah, okay. Let Aaron.
We got our guy. We got our guy here. Corey, go ahead. You're the advertising guy.
I'm the advertising guy, but this is your show.
It doesn't matter. You're here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on August 3rd, we are having our rain date for NDT Day at the ballpark. If you had tickets before, you still have tickets moved over now. Make sure you check your emails. This man right here, Mike, he had sent you an email explaining how to get your tickets. If you have any questions, make sure you respond to him. See if you can figure out how to do it. If you did not get tickets to the game last time, you can get tickets still. We have tickets available. Go to the top of our page under the pinned post. We do have a post on there where you can click that link and get your tickets today. Join us for a beautiful day at the ballpark. Aaron is going to be singing the national anthem. We still have our contest winner who gets to throw out the first pitch. It is Country Day, so the first 2,000 people through the gate can get yourself a cowboy hat. Absolutely awesome. That's super spectacular. Is there anything else going on that day, Mike?
No, I think that's it. But I got really upset that I realized that date was SummerSlam. But then I got happy realizing that it's a 105 game and I'll still get to see SummerSlam. So.
It is a 1 o'clock start, people. So if you're a wrestling fan just like us, you are okay. Get to the game in the afternoon. Get to watch SummerSlam at night. You get to drink all day if you do things right and get yourself a DD to the ballpark. Make sure you buy some extra tickets. That means, guys, we're in section 13. It's a nice spot on the field. We're going to have a good time. Make sure you come on out. Get yourself some tickets today.
Mike, why don't you talk to the powers that be and see if we can watch SummerSlam on the big screen at the ballpark?
Well, you don't want to do that because there is the Jason Aldean concert on the mountain that night.
Ooh.
And that is why we moved our game time up earlier in the day, because when that happened last year, the year before, the traffic was an absolute nightmare for people trying to get to the game, trying to leave for the game. So, you know, and it sucks because we make our schedule first, and like we have our schedule, and then Live Nation books concerts on days when we have games anyway. So like, you know, that happened, you know, with this day, and there was another day that we had to change around. But it was just like, you know, it's there's only one way up and down that mountain for concerts, and the traffic just gets insane. But you know, 105 game shouldn't be a problem. Come to the ballpark. It's going to be a great day.
I'm going to get scolded because I forgot to ask you who's sitting next to us to see if I can ask them to swap tickets, because my wife's friend is coming up from Florida. So I'll have to talk to you about that later.
Yeah.
And see if I can find out what we can do.
Remind me tomorrow. I'll check tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. What else we got? Do you wait for anything else here?
Yeah, so we'll go back to this Money in the Bank. There's one big thing that we have not talked about that's absolutely enormous, and no one's even touched on it. Cena.
Oh, yeah.
So the reason I don't think this is a big deal, at first it was, because like when he first like, oh, like this will be my last, he's going to do 40 to 50 dates next year. So like nobody knows when his last actual match is. Correct. So now they're just going to use it as like, oh, this may be his last match. You better come out and get a ticket to see Cena's last match.
I think he did say he wants to do it through December.
Yeah,
so
I would say if you watch the post show,
series would be his last.
So here's my question, and I know they're not going to do the Orton thing now. Do they let him break Flair's record in his last run?
Who would you have him beat?
I would say a heel Randy Orton.
Anybody on the Monday
For
brand?
which belt?
Cody's.
So you would take the potential Cena title win over a potential Cody Roman rematch or Cody Rock match at WrestleMania next year?
Nope.
Absolutely, because I don't
I'd
think
take
either
it
one of
over
those
Raw.
matches is happening. I think it's going to be Roman and Rock at WrestleMania.
Priest. They're already lining it up. Do you not see this? They've got Priest, they've got McIntyre, and they've got Punk. He beats Punk for the last title. Punk wants to wrestle him on this last tour.
Punk did say it on Raw that he wanted to lace him up one more time.
But-
that would make perfect sense.
But what about
Or
Gunther?
Cena takes that one and Punk.
What about
Justin's-
Gunther? He's
Justin's
got
favorite wrestler.
You want to listen.
I don't think Gunther wins.
Yes,
SummerSlam.
exactly.
you don't think he
Nope.
wins at
No.
SummerSlam?
I
Not in
think
his
Triple
first-
H
no.
really likes. I think Triple H really likes Priest. I think he's.
I don't
trying
think
to
he
push
does
him.
at all.
I think he really does.
I don't think
He also
does at
likes
all.
Baron Corbin, so I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. So
I see. I don't know. I see Priest winning again. I kind of wanted to get to that because I called this as soon as it became a triple threat match. I looked over at my wife. I said, if Seth loses, he's not gonna Priest. The way they're building Priest up to be like this guy who has some kind of moral code, some kind of honor here. He's not gonna make him, hold up that gentleman's agreement because now it's a triple threat match. And when Seth came out in the beginning of the night and he said, "Well, I can't." Now that I can't challenge for the title again for now, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, Priest is going to say something later where he says it was a triple threat match. I didn't pin you, agreements off. And it happened. So I don't know. I think if we're talking Cena getting another title shot, it's on the Raw brand. To make it short and sweet.
When did Cena? Well, I guess if he said through December, I'm gonna say when was his debut? Like what time of the year did he debut at originally?
Well, that's a good question.
Jared?
Or
I'll look it up now.
Or when was his first title that he won? He's got to he's got to go out on some type of
or 2005
memorable moment, like I won my first title at Survivor Series. That's when I want to go out on.
Cena first wrestled June 27th, 2002.
All right,
that was his debut,
and got a title in 2005. I saw something the other day where they were comparing Cena to Reigns. Like Cena started in 2002, Reigns started in 2012. Everything was like a decade later. So Cena won his first title in 2005, Roman in 2015.
Yeah, he beat JBL.
WrestleMania 21 in 2005.
Was it JBL?
Okay.
I don't remember. But here's my thing is when I was watching that press conference afterwards, Cena touched on, how do we build up a story by then? And, how do we build up a story if I was to challenge for a title? I don't really know. He's like, but there are always going to be opportunities. There's the Royal Rumble. There's Money in the Bank. There's Elimination Chamber, King of the Ring, whatever it may be. But if you really want to have a memorable Cena moment, you could have him win the Rumble and then challenge who I think is going to be champion by then, Punk, at WrestleMania. Imagine Cena Punk WrestleMania for the title, Cena attempting to win it and breaking the record.
I like where you're going, but I think it's a Cena Punk SummerSlam because I think Punk wants his WrestleMania main event where he wins. I like the idea, but I think it's a SummerSlam match.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe Cena wins the Chamber
or Money in the Bank.
How did they do? Whoever won
Royal Rumble gets their pick.
King of the Ring wrestles at SummerSlam.
Oh.
Maybe Cena's the last King of the Ring.
That would make more. That would make sense because that way you're saving WrestleMania for what you've already set up in place. I have a bad taste when it comes to Cena winning the Royal Rumble. So there was a few years that I was turned off from wrestling when Cena came back, when he was legitimately hurt at number 30 and won the Rumble just so that he can be in the title picture when he was cleared. That pissed me off to no end because I hated the Super Cena, and it just that was it. Like that I was done, and I didn't watch wrestling for like 4 years after that.
Was that the one at MSG when he came out?
Yeah, where his arm was still like in the sling, and it was just like him and one other guy. He came in at number 30, threw him over the ring, and I was just like, I'm done.
That's a Vince push.
Vince loved him.
But you know what they said? I think it was Triple H that even said in the post Money in the Bank presser, he's like, he's earned his right to go out how he wants.
Oh, 100%. It's just like Sting.
Yeah, so not that they're going to give him creative freedom, but they're going to work with him. And I feel like he's tied now. I think they try to do away with Flair's record. You guys have been saying they're trying to do away with all these records. I think they try to do away with Flair's.
Right.
I think initially they were trying to have Charlotte break it, but I don't think it would have meant as much.
No.
Because she's already like a 15-time women's champion. Like she'd lose the title for 2 weeks and then win it back. Like, oh, it's my 3rd title reign. Now it's my 8th title reign in 2 months. It's crazy.
There was a couple years where the women's title flip-flopped every other week.
Yeah.
And they even counted different runs. Like I think there was the time when her and Becky switched brands, and then it counted like they just swapped the Raw and SmackDown title, and it counted as a new title reign. It was
so stupid.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Dumb. All right. Let's hit Raw. We've been on this for 41 minutes.
How did we stay on that for that long? Jesus.
There was a lot of stuff to talk
Legends.
about. A lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah. There's a lot, and there's still more. Oh, can I ask one thing before we get on to Raw? It has nothing to do with Money in the Bank, but it's because of Money in the Bank that I thought of this, because I thought the women did fantastic. So the question I want to ask all three of you, and there's been talk and conjecture of this for a couple months now from what I've been seeing, is the women's division seems to be getting deeper and deeper. Like the Money in the Bank match was absolutely incredible, and they're getting more and more women into the division. I read today that they're looking at getting another one from NJPW and some Mexican organization. I can't remember what her name was, but she's supposed to be like a top talent. But since they're getting so much depth, do you think it's a good idea for them to mirror the men's titles and give the women an Intercontinental champion and a U.S. champion?
So
give them a mid-carder.
Did you saw the message Robbie sent? Because they're talking about that.
Yeah. I've seen concepts.
I've heard it for months, but like I don't know if it's really happening. But my question to you is, do you think that they should?
Yes. They have enough women now.
Yes.
The tag division hasn't been hitting for them, so I think they kind of step that back and then let these mid-card titles kind of go to the forefront and give them something to do that's not just, hey, we matched you up for a tag match and here you go, hold this belt for a couple months. And
they should be a stepping stone, and the mid-card titles to me should be something that's defended way more often. And that's why I get pissed about Logan Paul. Should be defended way more often than the world title, just to give people something to be excited about.
See, I like what you said. It's a mid-card. It should be a stepping stone. But then you brought Logan back into it. Logan totally ruined that, because now you had LA Knight, who was white hot, and you're going to have him step back into the mid-card title.
Yeah, I think that's stupid too. That's stupid too. And I don't know. But yeah, anyway, move on. Next.
All right.
So Raw.
Oh, Justin and Aaron didn't say yeah.
What happened?
You guys didn't answer. Mike, I answered. I said you three. Do you guys both think that it's a good idea? The fuck, man? I'm asking you questions, and you're like,
a good idea for what?
The mid-card belts for the women.
I thought I addressed that when I said the Logan Paul thing with LA Knight.
But you didn't say it's a good idea or it's a stupid idea because of Logan Paul. You just said Logan Paul, yada yada, LA Knight, yada yada.
Oh, yeah. Bring more belts in.
Okay, cool.
Let's turn it into AEW.
Oh,
I knew he was going to do it.
Mid-card title, world title, period.
Listen, I love
how
AEW.
How many belts does AEW have?
I don't know.
I don't too many. I love AEW. I'm wearing a Hangman shirt right now, but I cannot.
Mercedes Moné has 2 right now.
cannot
He's wrestled 3 matches.
I cannot defend their overuse of title belts.
I just want to
Get the Ring of Honor stuff off the show. Keep the New Japan stuff over on New Japan. Just go back to your basics.
I planned out for this portion of the show when you and Justin are into this. I brought my own bag of Doritos for when you had this discussion. Enjoy.
Tonight's
now we're
episode
going
is
wrong.
brought
That was
to you
it.
by Doritos. Whether you like the natural nacho cheese, Cooler Ranch, or zesty pickle, you pick.
Stop.
your
We're not getting
favorite.
paid for this.
But we could.
No.
Mike, if you guys
no,
ever
don't give
need
free
someone to
advertising.
read some announcements at the stadium, you just give me a call, man.
All right.
That's all I was going to say
Raw.
about AEW. You brought up belts. That was it.
Raw. I'm going to
Just how
start
my
right
wife
out with
likes it.
Chad Gable and the Jey Uso match.
Wow, you
wanna-
skipped Seth Rollins.
Yeah. We've talked enough about him and Priest. I'm over it.
But it was him and Punk.
It was him and Punk.
That was
In
a
his
great
high
promo.
heels where he looked like a teenage girl first learning how to walk in fucking heels. Oh my
Bro, I loved how he pointed that out. As soon as he said that, I was like, Corey.
The heels.
Dude, Alex was fucking saying it when he walked in the ring. She's like, he has no idea how to walk in heels. I'm like, every woman in the arena is thinking the same thing. Fucking guy.
All right. So, what do you guys think about Seth Rollins and CM Punk?
I love that they're adding another dimension to that.
I legit thought that was going to go a whole different way. I really thought that Punk was like, and Seth was going to be super pissed more than he was. I like how they kind of spun it, whereas Punk was almost apologizing, then just went backwards. But
It's going to be a triple threat match at SummerSlam.
And you can definitely see the real animosity between them, too. And
Oh,
I love that part of it.
Much
Very
different
thick.
than Sunday night, huh?
And that's where Corey says, you know, it's all scripted. Yes, I do. But you can see the real emotions in it. And I love it. Like, Drew legitimately hates fucking Punk.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's willing to work with him is going to be fantastic.
I think they're going to make something special. As long as CM Punk can stay healthy for just a couple months, just let him stay healthy for a couple months, enough to have this storyline go through, because it's been absolutely gold, and it's playing off real life emotions, and that's when wrestling's the best.
When's Hell in a Cell?
They still do that?
they're
No,
bringing
I
it back.
think did they stop? I thought they stopped that last year.
They're bringing it back.
Because Cody and Rollins ended up in a Hell in a Cell.
That was 2 years.
It's just fitting.
2022.
Yeah, because Triple H said he hates it when it's a pay-per-view around a specific match type, unless it's like Elimination Chamber or something, because then like not every match deserves to be in a Hell in a Cell.
Oh, no.
Right.
It says they discontinued it. You guys are right.
Yeah.
I thought Bad Blood is returning.
Yeah.
So they may have gotten rid of the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, but have they gotten rid of the match?
No.
No.
But they're reserving
Because
that for
Punk,
like,
McIntyre needs to end there.
yes, that would be worthy of a Hell in a Cell match to me.
That could happen at Bad Blood. That's a fitting
That would make
a
sense.
fitting PLE name.
Right before Survivor Series. It's supposed to be October 5th.
You throw Rollins into the mix on that too. Ooh,
I think
you have yourself a nice triple threat.
I think
that's happening at SummerSlam.
I think you see that match, and then something to do with the bloodline to tie into the blood pay-per-view, kind of like, and then that sets them up for War Games at Survivor Series. That's how it has to end.
Aaron's so stoked about that.
Oh, love those matches.
These guys have been talking about that for months.
So what's your prediction on, the OG bloodline and the new bloodline? Who's going to be where?
So I think Solo and the Tongas and Jacob Fatu are all going to be one team. Roman's going to come back one of these days. And
SummerSlam.
I think he's going to get his ass kicked, like completely handed to him. Then he's going to have no answer but to go back to Jimmy and Jay and then find somebody else to be that fourth guy to come in and then have that from there. and then that's when you bring in The Rock. Like if you want to do Roman versus The Rock, that's when you bring The Rock to come in and be like, no, like I'm still the head of the table, the final boss. You know, maybe have Sami Zayn included with it, like kind of like give him that, you know, where he was the honorary Uce. I think it just brings it back like full circle over like a 2-year long storyline.
Do you think they're going to add anybody else into it, like Tala Tonga or Zilla?
They got Hikuleo. They got like 100. It's like every
Hikuleo,
week.
They trademarked the name Tala Tonga.
Uh-huh.
And that's for Hikuleo.
Zilla's already huge,
signed.
Right? Yeah.
He's like 6'8".
That's what I heard.
He's a big dude.
So the War Games match is usually 5-on-5 or 4-on-4.
It's 5-on-5, and they don't start till all 10 men are in the ring. You could beat the shit out of each other for hours before that ends up.
Aaron and I have had this discussion. I think The Rock works his way back for that. So I think you have The Rock pulling the strings on Solo and the Tongas, and I think Zilla's over there. And then you got the Usos, Roman, Sami, and Roman's plant, Jacob.
I don't know. There's so many things. My question is, what do you do with all these guys after the Bloodline feud? Like some of these guys are super talented. They're big name guys. Like what do you do with them after this? Like
they need their own fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do some of them go back to NXT? Do some of them just are on like a year-long contract? But like, it's like some of these guys were top guys in New Japan, and you're just bringing them in for, you know, you're not just bringing them in for a storyline, because this is like the storyline right now. But again, like once this is over, what do you do with all of them?
I think you have to disperse them out to the different brands, because it's depending on the month. SmackDown's really hot or Raw's really hot. So you have to spread this out somehow and spread them out to different ways. And it's going to be a really interesting process on how they creatively do it. Unless you're right, unless they release some of them. But there's just too many of these Samoans in this. Yeah, I'm laughing too, Corey. There's too many of these Samoans in this battle right now that it's just going to implode. Imagine they could have their own Royal Rumble at this point, the way they're going.
Here's the thing: the way they're building Jacob Fatu up, this man eventually could compete for a world title. He can't play second fiddle to someone if he's going to be competing for world titles.
Well, you also have to look at the other side of this. I know the Usos aren't that young, but they're getting older.
Yeah.
And also Roman is, who knows how long and how much he's going to wrestle. Rock's not going to be around forever. So you've got to start cultivating the newer blood to come in, no pun intended. But these guys are getting older. They're not going to want to wrestle as much. So, or they're not going to be able to, I should say.
Yeah.
And this new side of the bloodline has to prove itself.
Correct.
And the only one who's done it so far, fucking Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, because
I'm not sold on Solo. I'm not sold on the Tongas. Tama's the better out of the two.
They should have built Solo up a little bit more before they put him in, like, because if you look at his win-loss record, it's atrocious. So it's like,
especially against LA Knight.
Yeah.
He was rarely on the mic. He rarely was in the ring. He was more so outside and interfering.
Like if you're just tuning in, you know, you would think that this dude's like unbeaten, you know, a monster, you know, but he was essentially a joke for, you know, the past year until they decided to really go with this bloodline. Like, he was the enforcer, but like he always lost his matches.
So
and then was it a mistake to pair Jacob with him? Because within 5 minutes of being in the WWE, Jacob Fatu overshadowed him by far.
But maybe this is all by design. Here's the thing: if Solo takes off and does an incredible job, people aren't going to be clamoring for Roman. They're going to be enjoying what Solo's doing. So you want that character to be stale. you want it to be like, you suck. You want Roman to come back and knock him off the pedestal that he took.
Yeah.
No, it's just.
But if he's the leader, if he's supposed to be the leader of the bloodline, this dude should be a little bit better. I mean, it's a good thing that they let them win at Money in the Bank, because if they didn't, it would have ruined everything.
Yes.
I think if you would have saw them actually officially hand the reins over to Solo, then I think it'd be a different character, a different push, a different way that they're portraying him. But right now, he has to fuck this up so Roman comes back and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, and now he's on his own. He's got no Heyman there to carry him.
Nope.
Like, it's sink or swim.
Dude,
But again, that's all by design too.
Let's give Paul Heyman his flowers, because that man has
True.
made this storyline. His facial expressions, his acting, like,
dude,
when he's retired, it's gonna be a sad day.
When they got him up on Fatu's shoulders, the look on his face, he's like you could tell what he's thinking. Like, he's thinking this is so gonna be worth it, but this is gonna suck. Like, he looked
also
like he
thinking,
was worried.
I get to sleep soon.
Yes.
Bro,
He stayed up for days.
Yes.
But man, that
fun.
dude is 58 and so out of shape to let them do that. Oh my God.
My thought was, this guy hasn't slept, he hasn't showered, he hasn't shaved, and his balls are in someone's face. Can you imagine what he smelled like?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's the worst part.
My man had some jungle junk going on.
Oh, baby.
Paul Heyman is not a little dude. He was sweating.
No. And they definitely took care of him. You could see them taking their time,
Oh
yeah.
getting it just right.
yeah. That was a fantastic moment though with him.
Which, if I go back to Money in the Bank, since we're on the bloodline,
We're past that. Get away
Jacob.
from it.
No. Jacob Fatu, watching him, I didn't really watch him before he came up. I saw a couple matches, and everybody was. I'd seen a lot of people saying like he was dangerous. Watching that match, he looked safe as hell.
Yeah.
Everything was clean, like smooth, looked good, and you could tell was clean. Like, it was. I liked it.
Is that
And
true,
it's
Brian?
fucking crazy.
Thank you for not posting the shit he's putting in this chat.
I've been so into the conversation, I haven't been posting what anybody's been saying. I apologize, guys. We have no Jared tonight. It is just us. So you're rocking with the cool crew, I guess. That doesn't know how to do anything properly.
Brian, I love you, dude, but some of the shit you're putting in here, it's even beyond our understanding. So now Mike's reading it. Whoa.
I've been reading it the whole time, and
Okay, good.
He's trying to not react to it. He met some dirty wrestlers in his time. That's a beautiful thing. All right, so you wanted to start the Raw segment out with Jey Uso versus Chad Gable. So while we're almost at our hour mark, why don't we get back into the start of Raw? Aaron?
Let's talk about my favorite faction.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Chad Gable, Jey Uso. I love how this Jay is handling this
He's so funny.
Wyatt Six stuff. He's hysterical, especially when he did a little yeet and ran away into the dark. Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome. Mike, we really haven't had a chance to talk to you. So what are your thoughts on how they're handling this Wyatt Six, the Uncle Howdy, the whole nine?
So I like that they're taking their time with it, doing the video packages with Bo, and then having him be in Pierce's office. Like, you could just tell, like, his face, like he looks like he means business. Like, this isn't going to be I don't think a long-term thing, because it's just it's gonna be its own thing. It's the perfect tribute to Bray, because they're doing it to perfection. You know, I don't know where it goes long-term, because it's just so unique, and yet you have to have the right cast of characters to play into it. You know, I hope it leads to Gable with the Creed brothers, and he takes on the Wyatt Six. You know, I don't know. I don't know where it goes, but I know it's entertaining, and I'm looking forward to it.
Here we go. I was gonna get there. But first I was gonna say, when that door opened and Bo was looking over, I was like, holy fuck, he looks like Bray.
Yes.
So
I had to like look twice. I was like, holy shit.
The one interview backstage on Monday Night Raw, you could see Gable with the Creed brothers and Ivy Niles in the back there.
Yeah.
Sitting in the background. So that's coming soon. They've been playing at that for a little while now. He's going to go to them for help. So I can't wait to finally see members of the Wyatt Six in the ring. I wanted to ask you, Aaron, like what you think about 3 weeks in a row doing the VHS and just the VHS. Like they enter the ring and it's just her in the ring with the smoke, outside the ring, whatever, during the Gable matches. And then she hands the VHS over and nothing else happens. Like I keep expecting something more to happen. I don't know. Maybe I'm selfish because I want more action and not just videotapes. I like the videotapes, but I want more.
So it's kind of going to go with what Mike said before. You don't know how long this is going to go off, and I think there's a very limited time frame they have to work with this whole faction. I give this tops a year before they start ripping it down, unless something really catches and takes off. But I'm almost getting tired of the video montages too. But when they showed Bo in Pierce's office, that shows you they're going to start transitioning out of it and into another phase of this whole thing.
Now,
that's what I'm hoping.
Would you still care for the video packages if they did it a different member every week? Sort of like,
I thought that's what we were going to get.
Exactly. Like the first one was Bo and showing him like why, and like asking, having him talk about, Bray's death and stuff like that, it was emotional. Each one of those members, like I want to see Eric Rowan step up there and be like, 2 of my friends are dead now. You know what I mean? Like kind of get into that dark emotion of it. And I think that's where they're going to go through and I want them to flesh it out a little bit more.
I keep putting that comment up there because of the reaction Justin had to it. Was it last week, Aaron, or 2 weeks ago? I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's
2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
We went
and
down
Justin just went off, and I was like, dude, like for how long it's been now? Do you think he could really stay out of the public eye for this long? And Justin said, if anybody could do this for a storyline in WWE, Bray Wyatt could do it.
It's him.
I don't know. That it would be.
It's far-fetched. It's very far-fetched, but
Far-fetched was a Pokemon.
It would be really, really fucked up if they did that, especially like, the emotion that people would have to that. And I think I think more negativity would come out of it than positivity.
Right. I went down the rabbit hole of
got him, Aaron.
What if the company's not in on it? Company has no idea. This is just Bray doing a fucking storyline on his own.
No. It's too out of the.
I love playing conspiracy theorist on this. I will start again by saying Bray Wyatt is not alive. I don't believe this. But they pulled this shit with Vince McMahon. They blew up his tour bus.
Saw this post.
They blew up his bus.
Limo.
Whatever it was.
Happened in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
So they faked his death. Blah, 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 blah. This is a hell of a swerve if they do this. And I was really poking Justin pretty hard with this one a couple of weeks ago. So, Mike, I'll ask you this. I'll ask Justin the same question I asked Justin. When Bray started to make his return a few years ago, what was the song that he always sang? He's got the whole world in his hands. And right now, he's got this whole entire wrestling world pulled right in.
That'd be like saying Eddie Guerrero is going to come out next Monday and like rescue Dom from Rhea Ripley. Like
that's that. But see, I understand what you're saying. I just think, and I will say this again, if anybody could do it, it's Bray. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think it's happening. I honestly think he's gone. But if anybody could pull this shit off, it would be him. Just because of that dude's, he is wired so differently and so creatively in touch with himself in that business. It's crazy. God, I'm thinking.
Maybe. He doesn't want. See, the thing is, Mike doesn't want to think about that.
I don't want to drink Kool-Aid.
You can understand it. You can see it. You're just like, no. Yeah.
No.
So
it would be something.
Talking Wyatt 6, okay, and talking about Eddie coming back and saving Dom from Rhea Ripley. So they say something with the Wyatt 6 about how they're going to go after people who wronged their family, right? So all of this that's going on right now with Dominic Mysterio, I think, is leading up to him being another target. And
probably
we're going to go out. We're going to go out there. I'm going to go out on this limb, okay, and say that because of all this, this is going to turn Dominic 180 degrees into a babyface so he can have one last run with his father before Ray walks off into the sunset.
Ray's never going to retire.
He's never going to retire.
He's already in the Hall of Fame and he's still fucking wrestling.
I think Ray will retire before you can ever think about turning Dom face.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't think there's a
he's
chance
such a good.
in
He's
hell.
such a good heel.
You can't.
He's a natural heel.
He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite wrestlers.
He gets
right
such a reaction, and there's you got to keep him. And that's the thing. Like now, like you can't change
when
it.
They hate you so much, they don't let you talk.
But see, here's why
don't change that.
Here's why I think that, though, okay? Because they're going after people who wrong their family. Clearly, he's wronged his father and his family. And if he gets booted, ousted from the Judgment Day, he's got nobody. Who's he going to turn to help him with the Wyatt 6? You've got, your father that's in there with you, and I feel like it's the reason I say it is because I feel like they're going to make Ray feel bad about what's going on. He's going to try to protect them.
No.
I'm way out there on that limb all by myself.
The best example I can give you is Eddie Guerrero. Did he ever go face? He never changed his character.
No, but he was organically turned back and forth.
He's now, right. Yes,
and that's what's going to happen with Dom. You're going to love to hate him and then hate to love him. That's just how it goes.
He's going to be the hateable babyface, and like you can kind of see Damian Priest turning that way right now. I don't hate the Judgment Day. I love the Judgment Day. Like, are they heels? Yes. It's the same thing with Edge. I love Edge, but that's because he played such a good heel that how can you actually hate him?
Yeah, see, I really like Priest too, man. Like, I really like Priest, but like, I think
he's so bad on the mic, though.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is people are going to maybe he's not going to be a babyface, but people are going to like Dom after this is what I'm thinking. I think they're going to tug at some heartstrings.
Oh, that's it. But if that happens for you, I'm excited because I don't see that happening. I hope it does for your sake because that'd be a great prediction. But I think people hate him so much, there's no way they're going to love him anymore. Especially now with what he's doing to Ripley, even though, like Mike said, that the Judgment Day's heels, everybody loves that woman. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, but you see
Dom
how
is more of a heel now.
You see the reactions Dom is getting though because of Rhea and Liv. You see how people are reacting to that, calling him the luckiest man alive. They're gonna like him.
I have a question for our guy right here. How jealous of Dominic Mysterio are you right now, bro?
I wish I was him. I wish I was him.
Oh. Wow, he's about to get his ass kicked. He's gonna have a match with Mommy.
She could kick my ass any day, and I would love every bit of it.
They need to have
every fucking bit of it.
They need to have a custody of Dominic Mysterio match.
Yes, another one.
They have to do it. They have
A
to.
That would be
triple threat
great.
between Liv, Mommy, and Ray.
My question is how does Dominic go home to his wife who he recently got married and just be like, I don't know, they just keep putting me in this crazy storyline, like
Well,
Right?
same thing with Rhea because she just got married too. Like,
She just got married.
I told my wife, I told Alex, I said, I feel like this is Rhea Ripley's out from that storyline because she just got married. I feel like this is her out from that romance story. I'm not a fan of the romance stories in wrestling anyway. I could care less about them. I think they're dumb.
if you watch,
No,
Raw,
the
though, you
best
saw-
one was Lita.
I was gonna say Aaron actually leaned in that time. He did his thing. He leaned in to let you know.
I'll just shut my mouth. Go ahead. Justin.
Give him the old hawk tool. He'll let you do what you want.
did you guys see Cena's Instagram post where he put the Hawk 2 girl and Triple H like next to each other
Oh no,
with them spitting water?
that's awesome. So what I was gonna say is, if you watched Raw, we're going back to this Dominic getting married thing. He's got his wedding band on in his promo segments.
Oh.
So they're kind of like, oh, is he married? There's the kayfabe part is gone at that point. I noticed that last night I was watching.
I
I
think
haven't noticed that.
that is the first time that I've seen that brought up, and I follow tons of people on Twitter, so I don't know how they missed that.
Yep.
I like the people found his handkerchief in Liv Morgan's pocket, but they couldn't figure out that he was wearing his wedding ring in the
Yep.
promo.
His wedding band on last night.
That is kind of
So,
crazy.
Okay, Justin, go ahead.
Romance stories are dumb.
Yeah, he thought romance stories were dumb.
Unless you're involved with
Except
Bailey.
for,
That's his girl.
except for the one that involved Lita, Edge, and Matt Hardy. Because it was
That was
fucking
dumb, too.
real.
That was legit.
It was real.
That was real.
Stupid.
No doubt. What?
Lita and Kane.
Oh, well, Lita and Kane.
Kane
is
and
kinda weird.
Stephanie.
Bobby Lashley and Lana.
I think Mark Henry
That
and Mae
was the
Young.
worst.
Let's go there. Let's go
Ah,
there.
yes.
Macho Man and Stephanie.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Love to get her on the show and ask her that
These
question.
People wrestle. Who? Get who? May Young?
Stephanie McMahon. Be like,
Oh,
did
okay.
you really hook up with the Macho Man?
You were 15.
Who's reaching out to these wrestlers for us? I've been trying.
I've been trying to, dude. It's
They
like we
don't-
get
they don't
people
want
right
it.
to the end of the line, like, fuck you.
I just want to get I still got to do it when I find time during the day sometime if I'm off ever. Actually, I have a week coming off or a week off coming up soon. Maybe that week I'll call WWE headquarters and see if I can get someone from the camera crew or the production crew or
That'd
the
be
people
awesome.
that work the fucking ring, like the real people that are behind all this and make it all work. I want to get those people on the show. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
So let me do some digging. I might have a connection. I don't know if they're still there, but somebody that I worked with's brother worked for WWE at one point. Let me see what I can do.
That would be fantastic.
Justin
would love
just
to
got
hear
a
about-
boner.
I would love to hear about that kind of stuff.
I will have a notebook ready.
My wife says we have to go to a game that week too. Actually, Alex, did you fill out the form for that sensory suite? Maybe we can get lucky and get that sensory suite on that week. That would be dope. Do people utilize that a lot?
Yeah,
Sensory
so a lot of-
suite.
yeah.
Excuse me?
Sensory
what,
suite.
What are you
it's
censoring?
it's for children with autism or other special needs. So like Mila has Down syndrome. We might qualify. So we're going to try. We're going to see if we can get it. Get a little suite up there at PNC Field to watch the Rail Riders play. That would be fantastic. We could bring, what is it? I think up to 18 people can fit in it.
Yeah, I'll remind me tomorrow, and I'll look through
Got
the
dibs.
availability and see when it's available.
What, Aaron?
Got dibs on a ticket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 18. It's not like we have a huge circle or anything.
What's up, brother?
We'll invite Mike too.
Yeah.
Mike can come hang out in the suite with us. He gets one of those tickets.
Something tells me that guy's got carte blanche. You go wherever the hell he wants in there.
Yeah, I know, right?
I go wherever the air conditioning is.
Oh, boy.
That's a smart fucking move, man. That is a
Oh,
smart move.
you guys saw it. The weather has been absolutely atrocious, and it's like
I want it to go back to being like 75 degrees, no rain, but no, it's 90 degrees, 100% humidity, and
Yeah, I can't breathe. Like it punches you in the face when you walk out. Anyway, where were we at? What were we talking about? We did Jey Uso, Chad Gable. We did the Wyatt Six.
We were talking about Mark Henry and Mae Young.
Is there anything else interesting to you from Monday Night Raw, or do you want to go, since we're over an hour now, we're going to have another 2-hour episode at this point, so we better like rein it in. Do you want to go straight to the main event?
say his name. Who cares about Raw now? Say his name.
What?
He'll
She says
appear.
we're going to get Cody on. Say his name and we'll appear. I believe in Joe Hendry.
So
No,
I was really pumped because one of the players last homestand, his walk-up song was Joe Hendry's theme song.
Get out of town.
And like hearing it in that context was like, all right, wrestling's back. Like people were clapping to it.
That's
Like
cool.
it's like, okay.
Dope. Yeah, people are. It's a really, like Triple H says, it's back. It is better than ever.
Yeah.
Man, it's because of these two. I started watching again, and now it's ridiculous because I can't miss a show.
He sucked right in. We reeled him right into
did
this.
that.
Everything,
couple
everything's
people.
shy of sitting there with a goddamn notepad to take notes.
We just have one person to convert to the dark side, and that's Jared.
Jared doesn't like
He
WWE.
was
because-
close at one point.
I think once it's on Netflix and he's able to watch it like we do with us, he'll be better. He'll be more into it.
Yeah.
You gotta get him into an event. Like, do you guys do a Royal Rumble like a pool?
No.
No.
So the past few years, what I've been doing, like with my circle of friends, is that like we'll watch the Royal Rumble at my house, and they do like a buy-in. They buy in, and I'll randomly give them a spot.
number.
Yeah, so like each number is like, I think it's like $5 or something, and then if your number wins the Rumble, you get the whole
Oh,
pot.
that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not based on the wrestler; it's based on the number.
Right. Right. You don't get a wrestler because you never know who's coming in.
Yeah,
But like,
that's pretty cool.
I'll get everybody's, how many slots, like how many spots do you want in the men's, how many spots do you want in the women's, and then I'll put all their names into a list generator, and then make it 30. So then then I just fill in with a sheet, like whoever comes out. All right, so and so gets this person, and then it's like, you talk about you getting excited for the Royal Rumble, have money on the line when it's your person, or like when you get like R-Truth, you're like,
Boys, that's what we're doing.
Smooth. I like it.
All right.
I'm with it.
All right. So what do you want? You got anything else to talk about that Dom, Liv, Ray, Zelina, Mommy? How'd you like how that ended? How'd you like her return?
We knew it was coming. Let's face
Yeah,
it.
it was predictable.
When that match was announced, it was kind of predictable, right? And then you heard the
Yeah.
rumors. If you were paying attention online, you saw the rumors pop up. Mommy returns tonight, and you're like, okay, definitely during that match, something crazy is going to happen.
For me, it was when Priest was on the phone.
Yes.
yes, that's when I knew. That's when I knew for sure it was happening.
Hey, where are you at? Yeah, that's happening. That's going on tonight. But now, how do you feel about how it happened, though? Like, it's the main event, and they waited until the very end, and all you got to see was her come down to the ring, jump up in the ring, and get face to face with Dom. Then it cuts. You like that?
I think that's perfect. Yeah, gives
Well,
me something to look forward to
USA
next week.
USA cut it a
Yes,
little short
yes.
Time.
because it wasn't she just went face to face with him. She went face to face with him. He went to go give her a hug, and she blew right by him.
Correct. But do you see? You guys don't even see what they're doing. The past 4 or 5 weeks, they've always shown the off-air footage on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
They're driving people to their social media to watch what happens after.
Yeah, especially YouTube. They put a lot of free content on YouTube. Aside from that documentary, which that's a rock puff piece anyway.
It really fucking was. I watched that.
Yep. I saw
Great,
a meme today.
great
I was gonna say,
for
see
the
the
memes.
memes?
The memes have been
memes-
fantastic.
So fucking good.
Saw a meme today of him there saying, "I told Tony Khan to start AEW."
I told Shawn Michaels to believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I shouldn't be laughing at this, but this is hilarious. I'm gonna put this one up from our guy Brian. Wow, dude. Brian, you never disappoint, bro.
Dude, he's
Good
in
God.
it to make us. He's in it to make us crack.
Just
You
get us off
understand
our
that,
game.
right?
Yep,
Yes, he's in here
So-
to just break it up, man.
that
You
was
gotta appreciate
that
it.
was awesome. You got me there, buddy. That was great. Oh,
All right. So, anything
Dave.
coming up that you want to touch on with the wrestling stuff? Anything to foreshadow or take a look at?
I'm just looking forward to SummerSlam. I want to see some of this stuff pay out and see what direction they go with some of the new stuff. So
I mean, Reigns has to come back soon, right?
I'm thinking he comes back at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I really do.
You think,
Well-
you think at SummerSlam?
See, I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I
because
thought I expected it this weekend.
I thought it was going to be because of what they did with Heyman,
Yeah.
but
see, here's the thing. Okay, you guys say you said this past weekend. You say SummerSlam, and the reason I disagree with that is because at these events there's no vocal storytelling. There's no promos being cut, and I don't see him coming back just to involve himself in a match, being who he is. I think the first time you're going to see Roman come back, it's going to be the start of SmackDown, and you're going to hear his music hit. Or it's going to be in the middle of a promo being cut by Solo and the Bloodline's out there, and then his music hits. It's not going to be in the middle of a match. I don't see it being in the middle of a match.
I typically would agree with you. But like, I'm going to go back to my comment I just said about them driving people to their pages. They're going to do it at a pay-per-view to drive traffic to that next episode on the network that they're broadcasting on, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. They're going to let people know, listen, Roman came back last night. He's going to be on Raw on Monday, or he's going to be on SmackDown.
Right. I think they're looking more for that, like that shock. But again, like Solo's facing Cody most likely at SummerSlam for the belt. Solo's not going to be Cody for the title. So like you're not going to have Roman come out after Cody. You know what? Maybe it is where they like DQ finish on Cody, have them just destroy him, and then Roman just appear, and then they all run off. I don't know.
Roman costs him the belt.
They make Roman this massive face by screwing Solo.
I'd hate to think that that's how they do it, but you never know.
Like Roman comes to the crowd or something.
Yep.
Shield style.
Like his old Shield entrance.
Oh boy!
Could you imagine the Shield music hits?
Corey, I'm so proud of you. You're thinking about this stuff, and you're in it. I love it, dude.
You don't, dude. I used to be so into this. It's just the past
I-
decade.
Yeah, but you're getting back in the flow.
I loved it.
So
I don't think he would
do
hit
you
with
have-
the Shield music.
That's what I mean.
No.
Like I don't think you need music. I think you come
Correct.
in, you spear him, you like lift up the hood, just same way Solo made his debut, where he comes
Yeah.
in, rips off the hood, and it's Solo. Crowd just goes nuts.
I like if they played off the ending of the WrestleMania match when Roman finished his story with Rollins with the Shield, hit him with the chair for payback for all those years ago. If you have Roman come back down through the crowd like that as a little homage to the Shield, and then screw Solo, massive pop. They save Cody's rep, and now Solo and the Bloodline thing is on with Roman.
But isn't it too early to use the Shield's music or entrance?
Don't use his music.
again.
Yeah, they're
Don't
not going to
use
use
his
it
music.
until
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose comes back.
Right. Just use it as he walks through the
They ain't never
crowd.
taking that piece of shit back.
Oh,
Say how you really feel.
how can he hate him?
Not from what I've heard.
How can you like him?
What do you mean?
Terrible on the mic and he's terrible in the ring. Oh, I can't stand it. I won't. I can't.
That's how I feel about
I never
CM
liked
Punk.
him. CM Punk's great on the mic. He's not great in the ring, but he's great on the mic.
Yeah.
See, that's why. Oh my god!
Yeah. CM Punk, he's
Send him to a soap opera.
He
That's what
he
this
can
is,
do
though,
enough
dude.
in the ring, but he makes money for him and the company on the mic.
on the mic. Yeah. Same thing with Cena. Cena can't wrestle.
Nope.
That-
He's got
that-
how many moves, Aaron?
5 moves of doom. You just did 2 of them.
Christ.
Ricochet, man, he should have been world champion.
He'll
He will
be
in AEW.
Universal
He will
Speed Super Hooper Duper champion on AEW next week or something.
be.
Everybody
Yes.
over there is going to have a belt.
Soon.
They
Soon.
do, because it's a consolation prize, because you have all these top guys and you gotta wet their whistle by, oh, you'll be a world champion.
It's the participation trophy era. Let's
At-
go.
Every time Tony Khan talks about a new signing, his belt guy probably gets a hard on just waiting for the order.
Is this the Gatorade championship? Is this the YouTube championship? What do we got next?
We're gonna cross-brand AEW and WWE. It's gonna be Gatorade versus Prime.
Yes, I was gonna say, how do they not have Gatorade as a fucking sponsor? Jesus. Anyway, what else we got for tonight before we head out? We good?
Nothing.
Hour and a half.
No, we're good.
Okay. Mike, you got any last minute thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, we got through an hour and a half, guys. It's been a wonderful show. A lot of stuff to digest. Make sure you watch it back. If you came in late, there's lots of cool information on here. Mike, we're going to have you on again for sure. We have a lot of fun. Anything else upcoming? We have the gaming show on Friday night. If you guys are into video games and the like, tabletop games, whatever it might be, maybe we'll get into some of that stuff soon. Not sure what we're talking about this Friday. Might be the Resident Evil series. Might be something else. Not positive. The next variety show Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All of our shows, guys. Yeah.
At least we know that show will be an hour.
Yeah, and then we got next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend. We've got sidewalk sales in Honesdale, PA. We are going to be setting up in one of our sponsors' shops on Main Street in Honesdale, Dragon's Den Games and Hobbies. At least Saturday, we will be there. We are going to be there on Saturday. Not sure about the other 2 days. We'll find out. Maybe we'll let you know. We'll let you know. But we are going to be there on Saturday. So make sure you visit Honesdale, PA on Saturday, July 20th. Walk around town. Check out Dragon's Den Games and Hobbies. A wonderful, wonderful place to shop. Aside from that, I think we're all good. Right? Yeah. We're all good.
For bed.
Dude, you and me both. I'm going to leave this air-conditioned room, and I am going to go back down to another air-conditioned room and have myself a snack while watching some TV. How about you guys?
Watch AEW.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
It's right down your alley, Corey.
I'm going to like it because I like real wrestling.
I have a feeling tonight's going to be a more story esque. Well, you got Hangman and Danielson tonight. That'll be a good match at least.
Oh, that's where Danielson went. Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryanson, Matt. I don't know.
The only one I can stomach over there right now, and I was very disappointed when he went back, was MJF. That's
Court, does this kind of hinder your plans?
No, because Eli's not even here. Actually, this one's right here. You want to say hi and tell everybody who your favorite wrestler is?
Leanie.
Rhodes, obviously.
She's not awkward. I love you.
No.
All right, guys. Until Friday night, we will see you all later.
Later.
See you guys.
Later.